I put my phone in there, and the second I joined, I clicked on the video, and I was able to zoom in. But it's almost like once you're in there.
some as they wake, some by mistake, summed in a chain of love. A primal longing, it's in our bones. You can't miss something that you've never known. Hearts in the world are waiting, awakening. Hearts in the world are waiting, waiting. Spirit is one, scattered before the sun, elusive space and time, end of an age, end of a cage, end of a body bound where it can't be found. We carry them along. It isn't far. It is a garden. It is where we are one. Can't you feel it? It must be home. You can't miss something you've never known. Hearts in the world are waiting, awakening. Hearts in the world are waiting, waiting.
It's for everyone. Everyone's worthy of love. Every broken light will find some light when love gives them hope. Hope is for everyone. We rise to give life to hope. Every spirit breathes with one deep need for hope. made from justice. Justice is for everyone. Tempered with mercy, it'll grow. Everybody shares the burden. Every justice makes peace. Peace that finds us. Set our minds to kindness and joy. Joy is for everyone. Every soul longs to know joy. Every mother, child's courageous smile speaks joy, born of love. Love is for everyone. Love is for everyone.
Good morning. One day we may have the money for a cabaret license so we can stop listening to me. Welcome. This is All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church in Shreveport. We are a congregation based on covenant rather than creed. We do not have to think alike in order to love alike, to walk together in the ways of respect, and trying to develop compassion and understanding, and to grow in the ways of peace. So whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here with us in that mutual spirit, you are welcome, always. We front load these services with a little bit of information. Do we have a board person who's going to share announcements today? Board person? All right. Ms. Susan, our education director. Thank you.
Good morning. First of all, our volunteer of the month is Sally Wood, who is our board president. And if she isn't in the room, it's only because she's out doing something incredibly productive and wonderful. As I said, she's our board president at a really crucial time in our history, the right person in the right place at the right time. She's also a valued soprano in the choir who can also sing alto and tenor if needed. And she shows up. She shows up. She's one of those people that when people say to me, your congregation shows up, she's one of those people. So we thank you, Sally, for everything. Our Giveaway the Plate recipient, every month we give our non-pledge contributions to an organization that resonates with our values and our principles. And you're going to hear a little bit more about it from some representatives of the organization in a little bit at our Time for All Souls, but the organization is Shreveport Mutual Aid. So I'm not going to go into detail because they will later. But we're very happy that y'all are here. Welcome. Building and Grounds Workday is Saturday, May 13th. It's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There are tasks inside and outside for all ages, all abilities. I know there's trimming and all sorts of stuff to be done on the grounds, and inside there's all sorts of cleaning. We're doing some kind of scary organizing type work as well inside right now, trying to get ourselves ready for the sale. But whatever you would like to do, if you join us on Saturday, we will find something that fits your interests and abilities. And it's a good way to get to know your All Souls friends and make new friends, get to know people better working side by side. I think that's everything. There are 2 events coming up in the community that I wanted to let you know about, and I should have, one of them, they're going to be conversations, or I don't know, they're using the word debate. I don't know how formal that is, but they're conversations about the library censorship bills that are in the legislature right now. One of them, I got the email from Pace, and one of the conversations, I think they're going to center specifically on the LGBTQ themed books that people are trying to censor. One conversation will be Saturday, May 13th at 4 o'clock at the Hamilton South Caddo branch on Burt Coons. And the other one I remember is on Sunday the 21st. That's right, Sunday the 21st at 2 o'clock at the Broadmoor branch of the library. So they're going to do it twice, and we'll send it out. We'll put it on our Facebook page and send it out in our email as well. If you are not on the church email and would like to be, if you'll fill out the guest book, I'll make a note to look at that and get you on the email. And we usually only send 1 a week, maybe 2 if something special is going on, but we really try to be conscientious about that and not bombard you. We are going to be planning summer activities for children and youth religious education soon. We do things a little differently. Instead of following curriculum like we do kind of through the year, we try to do some fun, artistic activities. Tie-dye is one of those. We have a traditional tie-dye day, which will be June 11th this year. But if you have something you would like to share, whether it's an artistic activity, drama, drama play, anything like that you would like to do with a mixed age group of children and youth, I would love to talk with you. I think that's it. Thank you.
It is, thank you, Miss Susan.
I forgot something really important. I'm sorry. I knew I would. I'm so sorry. Next week is Mother's Day, which that's important enough, but we are having a poetry service. And if you would like to contribute, and it doesn't have to be a poem about motherhood, but if there's a poem that your mother taught you, or that you learned from someone in your life who's been like a mother to you, or if you are a mother and you've written and you're a poet, we're going to have a pretty wide understanding of what Mother's Day poetry is, and we would love to have you share. If that is part of your life and your spiritual journey, we would love to have you share some poetry or a song with us. Thanks. That really is it.
I was just going to add that showing up, whether it's in letters or at the conversations about the censorship, is really important. A number of people, including the directors of libraries, went down to Baton Rouge to speak to the legislators and were not allowed to speak. Activism is called for, so if you have the means to follow through on that, please do. And now, catch your breath. Let yourself be where you are. Let the pew hold you for a few minutes. And together let us contemplate and elevate matters of worth, which is the English root of the word worship. Remain seated and join us in singing. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit of life, come to us to break down barriers, to widen horizons, to make us less judgmental. Help us to see the larger picture and the kinder conclusion, to love and let live, to embrace and forgive, to sustain and care. Help us to reach out to our better selves, that we may love more and hate less, care more and reject less, that bound together by understanding we may sustain each other through trial and tribulation, through joy and happiness, through sickness and health. God of our hearts and many names and many understandings, help us to be joined in a common purpose of hope and fulfillment. Hello. Renew and revive us. This will be interesting. We seek a common holy ground for one and all, and I want to not be friendly to this one. Oh, it's just a fly. Okay. We gather with tenderness, the kind of tenderness that can only be born from knowing, like knowing this is a fly and not a bee. Knowing human capabilities as well as human imperfections. We gather wanting certainty and having none, but we are wakeful to possibilities as we seek discernment and gentle judgment. We gather then unbounded but close. Spirit of love and mystery, help us to recognize the spark of the divine that resides within each of us. May we know the joy of wholeness, and may we know the joy of being together. We have two sections to our chalice lighting. Would someone care to lead the first part? You want to? All right.
This chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other.
In these hard times, let us look first to the response of love in the midst of challenge may our chalice flame bear witness to the inherent worth and dignity of every human being. In the midst of uncertainty, may our chalice be a beacon of encouragement that our values may guide our choices. Let us first look to the response of love. Would you please rise in body or spirit and say with me the unison affirmation? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. Our first hymn is "Come and Go With Me to That Land." Let's see what key I put us in this time. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land. There'll be justice in that land where I'm bound. I think I want to try to raise it some. We'll see how well I do. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land. There'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. So come and go with me. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Thank y'all. Please be seated.
Y'all want to come on up? I want you to meet some new friends of ours, but first of all, I want to ask, how many people in this room have ever just helped somebody? Not because you were going to get paid, not because someone told you to, but just because they needed something and you could provide that, and that was a good thing to do. How many? I just want hands. Kind of thought so, because this is that kind of crowd. So I want to introduce you to Chloe and Bobby from Shreveport Mutual Aid, who do exactly that in a more organized way, and they're going to tell you a little bit about it.
Hi, I'm Chloe, and this is Bobby.
Hi, everybody.
I'm from Lake Charles. I relocated here in August of 2020 after being displaced by Hurricane Laura.
And I'm a Shreveport native, born and raised. I currently go to college at Louisiana Tech, but I come back every weekend to help my mom.
So we're here speaking on behalf of Shreveport Mutual Aid. We're super grateful and excited to be chosen for Pass the Plate in May. We wanted to come and talk a little bit about what mutual aid is and why it's important. Mutual aid is the act of a community become empowered to meet each other's needs by caring for one another and organizing against the unjust systems that ignore the needs in the first place. Mutual aid looks like a lot of different things and continues to be a huge part of people's lives and organizing. But we specifically put on food shares every Saturday downtown at Caddo Common Park from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Every Saturday, and we feed unhoused people. It's the main goal of that is to create a space like outside of capitalism and just enjoy each other and build community with our unhoused comrades. We have a lot of ideas and projects we want to get done this year, like by June, we want to hand out refillable first aid kits. And by July, we want to do a monthly bike fixing workshop where we'll repair people's bikes for no cost to them. We also want to start filling little free libraries with leftist literature and zines, banned books, stuff like that. And we hand them out at our food shares too.
But yeah, right now, our biggest concern, at least coming into the summer, is how to deal with the heat and how to keep our unhoused friends, cool during the summer. As everybody knows, heat and dehydrations are a big problem, especially around these parts with the humidity. So right now, electrolyte powder is expensive, but it's one of the key items that we're trying to get for things. Buying in bulk definitely helps with our food shares. If anybody was looking to donate, obviously like water, electrolyte powders, anything to keep people cool. Sunscreen is also 100% needed. I don't know if you guys could tell or not, but I definitely need it myself. So if people are living outside all day, then they're definitely going to need it themselves too. So yeah, and a lot of our unhoused comrades are people of color or anything else like that, so they need to be able to keep their skin healthy going into this next year to prevent like other issues or health complications, especially going into the winter. After that, it's going to be very expensive for them. We want to be able to hand out like portable fans, hats, and anything else just to kind of generally keep people cool. That way that they can kind of stay safe and healthy during the summer months, because it's obviously a very hard time for unhoused people.
Yeah. As we move forward, we're going to need more support from our community. Right now, we feed roughly 55 people every Saturday. And as being like part of a grassroots collective, we pay for everything out of our own pockets right now. We would love to have more people coming out, having fun with us, sharing the responsibilities of all this.
But yeah, if you guys had any questions, if you had any issues or wanting to help, anything that you thought that we should probably cover or expand, or just anything at all, we'll be here after the service. Feel free to come talk to any of us, or check out our pamphlets that we've handed out. I'll hand out the last one to one lucky guest afterwards.
One lucky guest. I love it.
But yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And just a quick reminder, if you are paying by check and you want to give part of it as your pledge and part of it to Shreveport Mutual Aid, put that in the memo line so that we know how much goes to each. If you have whatever cash you have today that you donate in the basket, unless you put it in an envelope and mark it, otherwise it will go to Shreveport Mutual Aid, and that can go in the baskets in the back as you leave. And there's also a QR code that you can go online, select Give Away the Plate, and that will go to Shreveport Mutual Aid. So again, thank y'all for being here. And I believe Barbara has a song for us before we sing the children and youth out.
I want to first teach you the bridge so we can sing that all together in unison. And then I'm going to go back and we'll do the verses call and response. I'll sing a line and you sing it back to me. And, you know, again, this is, I'm sure, going to be in my key. But, so I'll sing a line. When we get to this together, we're not going to stop and do call and response for the bridge. I'm just going to teach it to you one line at a time, okay? It's nothing weak or geeky, mushy or dumb. Can you sing that? It's nothing weak or geeky, mushy or dumb. Great. Here's the second one. It's the only way our human limits can be overcome. It's the only way our human limits can be overcome. It's not about if I like you or the things you do. It's not about if I like you or the things you do. It's a way to live. As I open deeper, I find I'm one with you. It's a way to live. As I open deeper, I find I'm one with you. Let's try the whole thing together. It's nothing weak or geeky, mushy or dumb. It's the only way our human limits can be overcome. It's not about if I like you or the things you do. It's a way to live. As I open deeper, I find I'm one with you. Okay, ready? Here's the first line, and we're going to call and response. It's actually got 4 verses. After the second one, we'll do the bridge for the first time. Okay? I can love more. I can love bigger. I can love those who don't love me. I can love more, though we might differ. I can love those who don't agree. Love is a door, grounded and centered, bound to the core of all we see. Love is a door, though we might, no, love makes us better, more than we ever hoped we'd be. Ready for the bridge? It's nothing weak or geeky, mushy or dumb. It's the only way our human limits can be overcome. It's not about if I like you or the things you do. It's a way to live. As I open deeper, I find I'm one with you. Love isn't small, isn't contingent. Love asks a lot of all we do. Love isn't small, as it's intended. Takes all we've got to live up to. Bridge. It's nothing weak or geeky, mushy or dumb. It's the only way our human limits can be overcome. It's not about if I like you or the things you do. It's a way to live. As I open deeper, I find I'm one with you. I can love more. I can love bigger. I can love those I don't think see. I can love more, though we might differ. I can love you. Can you love me? Thank you. Would you like to help sing the children out, please? You may go. Effie's a choir, wannabe, lead singer, excuse me. Lead singer, I stand corrected. I have for the meditation 3 readings that are going to seem probably disconnected. So just let them float through, take what you will, and I will try to draw them together a little bit later in the service. The first, if you receive Richard Rohr's daily meditations, he's a Catholic priest who's really a universalist, but he goes right to the brink of heresy and walks himself back so he can keep his position, I think. This week, I believe it was this week, in one of his daily posts, there was a quote from the Reverend Cameron Trimble. Trimble is an author, pastor, and leader in the United Church of Christ who work with Unitarians to develop Our Whole Lives, the sex education, comprehensive sex education program that we have tried to offer through the years. But Cameron is a minister with the United Church of Christ, and as a pilot, she honed her wisdom for navigating the turbulence of transitional times. She writes, "We're going to hit some turbulence ahead," my flying instructor went on, "and you will learn something about your airplane. If you tighten your grip on the yoke, you reduce the aerodynamics of your aircraft. You, as the pilot, actually make the flight less safe, steady, and stable. So remember, when the going gets rough, fly loose." Our world today is, she goes on to say, "Our world today is nothing if not swirling, turbulent wind tossing us around. Recently, we have experienced economic meltdown, climate countdown, racial throwdown, political breakdown, technological showdown, and religious letdown. We are living through the breakdown and breaking open of much that has defined modern life. In the face of such extraordinary transition, it's natural to look for solutions to our problems. Looking for solutions to our problems, we tightly grip the yoke of our families, businesses, government, and communities, trying to regain control of people and systems that feel broken and dangerous to our safety and survival. Of course, no amount of control will create the conditions needed to traverse through rough winds of change. Trimble offers challenging yet hopeful advice. We must resist looking to the frameworks of the past to lead us into the future. Doing so is a way to pretend to control, to tighten our grip and reduce our cultural aerodynamic flexibility. Instead, perhaps we turn to ways of wisdom that cultivate intuition, patience, and ingenuity. The second reading is from 365 Tao. It's a little book of daily meditation from the Taoist tradition. Defiance. Every God can be defied. No choice, no devotion. There have been many rebels who have chosen to defy their gods. Without this option, there can be no true devotion to a holy concept. For devotion is only valuable when a conscious decision is made to follow that course, even in acknowledgement of the difficulties ahead. Choosing to be a devout person is good. Choosing to defy the gods is also good, for it affirms the basic ability of human beings to make choices. We cannot support religions which say that there are no choices. Metaphysical totalitarianism of any kind stifles the freedom we have as human beings. It is not acceptable to have a religion where the alternative to faith is punishment. That's how some people, that's my parenthetical thing, some people train dogs, not develop people. Spirituality is only great when it allows that utmost freedom to follow it. If we suffer from difficulties, that is not holy retribution, and we should not allow it to create debilitating questions. If you endure a crisis in your life, it may well challenge your faith. Perhaps you will even respond bitterly to your gods and cry out, "How could anything holy permit this atrocity to happen to me?" But gods are not parents or protectors. They are there only to inspire us to be better people. They symbolize the inherent choice of this existence. It is secondary whether we choose belief or defiance. What is precious is that we are all able to choose. The third reading is from Howard Thurman. Here is a mystery. If sweeping through the door of my heart there moves continually a genuine love for you, it bypasses all your hate and all your indifference and gets through to you at your center. You are powerless to do anything about it. You may keep alive in devious ways the fires of your bitter heart, but they cannot get through to me. Underneath the surface of all the tension, something else is at work. It is utterly impossible for you to keep another from loving you.
part of my life that's important, a part that too easily slips away, keeps me at night by a small reading light with a ream full of things left to say. I'm sorry my folks don't understand me, and I'm sorry old friends are still slaves. I'm sorry I'm so disappointing to those who can't see how much courage this takes. And it keeps me at night by a small reading light with a will that's compelled to go on, reaching for minds well ahead of their times, so the sadness can leave my song. Outside on the steps where I sit between pacing, my chin and my heart in my hand, a bird flying by leaves a tear in my eye, for the dream's still asleep in the sand. I have friends with power and money, and while some of their dreams sound the same, I have friends who don't have a bed or a coat, so I stand in between in the rain, like a leaf that let go and got caught in a web, is suspended just feet from the ground. I can't stop the wind or start over again, even if half the world's looking down. What kind of world curses a girl and tells her she's less than a man? And what kind of truth turns on a youth whose life doesn't work out according to plan? Maybe I spread my umbrellas in the midst of electrical storms. I'm happier there on a wing and a prayer than seduced into sleep where it's warm. Too often good hearts become jaded, and the jade in their eyes turns to gold. To prove themselves right, they abandon the fight, right along with the vision they sold. And it keeps me at night by a small reading light, or in front of the world with my prayer that those who survive the inherited lives can help others to freedom out there. Like a leaf that let on the wind, all at once left suspended, alone for the turbulent ride. I can't join the rest to retire in the grass without sharing my piece of the sky.
Thank you. Just so you know, that's one of the 2 songs I'll be doing in the competition at Kerrville this year. Thank you. It's an old song, but they changed the rules, so you can enter old songs now. As we grow up, if we're fortunate, along the way we stumble into various degrees of falling in love, right? At some point or other, we find ourselves deeply smitten, quite likely at the mercy of forces far greater than our reason, our youthfully limited capacity for good common sense, and probably a bit more powerful than our natural flair for cool. Those first forays into love may be reciprocated or not. Through the magic and wonder, we are amazed at how little we knew about what it really meant to be in love. And as part of this life school, we also eventually endure the pain of endings, the disappointment of our love's imperfection, the heartbreak of all that was trusted, all that trusted beauty, becoming cruel or broken or misunderstood or miscommunicated, or something that brings that bubble of wonderland to burst. Then, with a bit of youthful innocence and the mercy of time and the courage to reopen our hearts, we fall in love again. That love, better informed by the wounds and wisdom of the love gone by, awakens to even more amazing experiences, and we discover even more about the wonder and the magic. Again, we are amazed at how little, when we were younger, we understood about love until now. Now we really get it. We see so much more clearly what the poets were talking about, what they meant. Alas, it is not unlikely that that love, too, is foiled in some way, and the beautiful bubble bursts. The cycle may repeat itself a different number of times in my life than in your life, but every time we regain the openness to love, again, we are rewarded with a still deeper, broader, grander, and more beautiful, more expansive, and more inclusive understanding of what love really means. And if our good fortune continues, that expanding and cycling of thinking, we finally see what love really is, what love really means, continues throughout our lifetime. Maybe not so much of the pain as our understanding grows, but still, love hurts. We lose people, and we grow to understand more about love in that pain. People die. We love them. That hurts. But we are, after all, human. We want to help steer things in the direction we think best. The more challenging the times get, the tighter we tend to, like the novice pilot, grip the yoke. And consequently find ourselves facing more resistance and being buffeted about, perhaps even dangerously so, until we, with experience and even more luck perhaps, learn how to fly loose. We learn through pain and experience and heartbreak the courage to again open, that we can't open to the fact that we can't make others love us, but they cannot keep us from loving them. I like the idea that defiance, or the right to choose defiance, is a necessary aspect of freedom. I like the idea that whether or not one believes in God or gods is not the important point, but that choosing your path is the important thing. Mindfully, intentionally, with integrity. Many of us grew up in traditions that dealt with an understanding of the ultimate, this divine source of as something punitive, with threatening, heavy-handed judgment if we didn't comply with rules not discerned from our own experience, but handed to us from systems developed by other people who we don't know, most of whom received it from other people they didn't know. I mean, from systems developed by people they did not know either. Traditions can be that. And if traditions are not examined, they stay that. Employing our reason, some of us were led to rejecting those teachings and walking away from those old gods. I don't believe that hearts harden. I believe that behind the walls or fortresses, the crustiness and calluses that we construct around them, whether from our fears or disappointments or resentments or anger or hate or bitterness, the heart, because it's still pumping, it's still soft tissue, carrying the metaphor into the reality of organic whatever. The heart is still pumping and it's still fragile. Soft, vulnerable, and also fully permeable, which doesn't fit the metaphor. I can choose to build those walls. I can choose to be defiant of your love. But underneath it, my heart is still vulnerable. I can convince myself that without these walls, I will not survive. Hearts are vulnerable. They can be injured. But within those walls, within that fortress, behind that crustiness and callousness, life withers. The breezes and strength of the flow of the essence of life, whatever you understand that to be. The power of stepping into the connectedness that we have with the web, the spirit of life, the source of love, the source of existence, is cut off when we wall ourselves in. Doesn't keep the membrane from being soft. Also doesn't keep our breath from getting to our hearts. And the word that breath comes from is also the same word that spirit comes from. So if we are breathing and oxygen is getting to our heart, spirit is too. Behind the walls, things are permeable. I believe as we give love, as compassion, unconditional friendliness, as Pema Chodron sometimes calls it, unconditional friendliness, compassion, as that our current most expansive understanding of love flows out of us, we wear down those walls. We wear down that crustiness. We erode away the things that cut us off from that flow. The risk of opening and making intentional practices to develop the capacity of remaining open amid the heartbreaks and the ongoing struggles is the surest way in life to vitality, to a life full of life. Finding one's way into a relationship with ultimate things that works more like a flowing interchange of energy and presence is a gift. It's not something everybody does. It takes some hard knocks to learn how to get there. It takes decisions and choices to stay there. And it takes a lot of courage. Choosing to love in our current most expansive understanding of whatever that means is both an act of courage and of defiance. At the same time, it is also lightening one's grip on the yoke, learning to trust the aerodynamics of the flow in spite of the fact that you can't see the wind. You can feel it buffeting you around. So you know it's there, but you can't control it. I'd like to remind you again that the word spirit comes from breath, and breath is wind, and wind is, it's all connected. And it's all part of life. Doing something as simple as stopping and taking intentional breaths can soften our hearts, can bolster our courage, and lighten our vice grip on the yoke a little bit. Finding ways to love those who don't love us is defiance. It's freedom. It's keeping them from limiting our choices. And I think may perhaps be an ultimate virtue. Our closing hymn is "Gonna Build a Mountain." I don't know how many of you might remember that. The words will be on the screen. It's an, I don't know if it's from the 60s or 70s. I'm old, but I forget. So I would ask you to please rise in body or spirit. No, I'm going to play it that way. Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, at least I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I only know I'm gonna try. Gonna build a daydream from a little hole. Gonna push that daydream up the mountain slow. Gonna build a daydream, gonna see it through. I'm gonna build a mountain and a daydream, make them both come true. Gonna build a heaven from a little hill, hell. Gonna build a heaven, and I know darn well, if I build my mountain with a lot of care and take my daydream up the mountain, heaven will be waiting there. Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, at least I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I only know I'm gonna try. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I only know I'm gonna try. And now, since the struggle deepens, since evil abides and good does not yet prosper, let us gather what strength we have, what confidence and valor, that our small victories may end in triumph. And the world awaited will be the world attained. May we go in peace, courage, and love, flying loose. Amen. So be it, blessed be.
Sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your love. candle.